con bắt đầu đi.
Hello everyone, my name is Khánh. I'm in class Discover 3K. Today I will tell you about my presentation. I want to make a drum in my presentation, and a drum made from crocodile skin were found in China circa 5,500 to 2003. 315 BC. In the records, drums were used in rituals to create a divine atmosphere. Dongson bronze drums are crafted from the Bronze Age Dongson culture in northern Vietnam, including the more elaborately decorated blue eye drum. This drum is bigger than a ball. Its colors are gray and white. Its shape is a cylinder, and we need a pair of drumsticks or a pair of chopsticks to strike it. And the drum sounds like when we hit a ball, but it is louder and deeper than a ball sound. And the drum is percussion. And this is some item to make a handmade drum. I think I will use a small cylinder box, construction paper, and a pair of chopsticks. And it looks like a small cylinder bag made by box. And I use my hand or chopstick to hit it. My drum sound like pop, 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 pop. And my drum sound is higher than the original drum sound. This is the end of my presentation. Do you have any question?
Okay, that was pretty good. Let's skip the question parts, guys, because I think the internet is not good enough for that. Okay, so there's a few questions. The presentation itself was very nice, but we have some words in that presentation that I don't 100% sure that you actually, because your pronunciation was a bit shaky on them. So we had some words like circa. What else? Do you know what the circa means? And then we had divine atmosphere. T, what is a divine atmosphere?
Can you say it again?
Yes. What's a divine atmosphere?
Atmosphere is air, right?
Okay, so
it's just
this is
sphere.
Okay, so this is why I need you guys not to use words in your presentation that you don't really know. Yeah. So divine basically is a god-like. Yeah. So usually means there's something very like spiritual or really religious. Yeah. So divine is like any kind of god, and a divine.
Immortal.
That's not necessarily that, but it's just a type. Basically, anything that's divine, it means it's like god-like, and it's like an adjective that we can use to describe something that's god-like. For example, we can use it for a similar word as to amazing, but it can also mean spiritual. So I can say that the food was divine, which means the food was very tasty. But if they're talking about the atmosphere, that means it's like a very religious, very spiritual, very like, people would pray and think about God while listening to this music. And atmosphere, Sun, you're very right. We can use the word atmosphere for what's surrounding Earth. Like that's the science version, but we use atmosphere more to like the vibe in a room, for example. When you go to like a cafe and you really like it, we usually say, oh, I really like the atmosphere here. Yeah, it's like, what's the vibe, like how you feel there. Okay, so T, just please pay attention not to, like, you know, I told you that I'm okay with you guys finding information on the internet, but please make sure that the words that you use, you always know exactly what they mean, because otherwise, you know, sometimes it's easy to mispronounce them, easy to say the wrong thing, and if you're not sure how to use them, it can, you know, be a bit shaky. Okay, other than that, pronunciation, yeah, strike with a K at the end. Can you say after me? Strike.
Strike.
Just make sure it's not stry, yeah? And then percussion.
Percussion.
Yeah, it's not percussion. Okay, and yeah, the only other thing at the end was my drum is sound, yeah? Remember, we were talking about the possessive nouns. So if we're talking about the sound of your drum, it has to be my drums sound, yeah? So we can use the word sound, as we can say my drum sounds loud, or my drum sounds amazing. Or if you want to describe the sound of your drum, you can say my drum's sound is blah, 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 blah. Just don't mix the two, yeah? You can't say my drum is sound. Okay, right, moving on from T. Other than that, thank you for preparing a nice presentation. This was pretty good. Right, next